a nice car so far. I'm going to kind of slow down here because there's nobody behind me. We're going to get an acceleration, see how the CVT responds. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2022 Kia Forte. First and foremost, so a huge shout out and thank you to the Jerry Signer Kia here in South Salt Lake for giving me some time with this Forte. Check out their inventory link below. Let's get into the video. So under the hood we have a naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through a CVT automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 29 around town and then 39 on the highway, with power outputs being 147 horsepower and then 132 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of the Forte. So first off, we have the new Kia logo there in the center. And then coming down below, you can see we've got the projector bulbs here with the turn signal off to the side. And then notice the design here at the top. Looks pretty cool there, and it goes all the way back on the headlight itself. And then you guys can see the accenting here off to the side, and then notice how everything's kind of blacked out. That looks very similar to the K5, that portion of the grille right there. It's kind of like they stole it a little bit. But other than that, I think that the new Forte looks pretty good from a front-end aesthetic perspective. Coming around the side here, we've got 205mm tires wrapped around 16-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you can see, as for the design there on the wheel itself, you've got the silver on the top, and then notice how you have the dark metallic gray there. So it kind of gives it a floating type design. Looks good overall. And then aside from that, we got the body painted mirrors right here. We have the shark fin there at the top, and there's your full side view. Here's our key fob. We got the Kia logo right here, and then you can press that. That'll flip out the key itself. And then notice over here we have our lock, unlock. We have the holding there for the trunk, and then the alarm. And so if we press that, notice it'll pop it open, and yeah, pretty cool. Now actually popping here into the trunk area, sorry about the focus, it's just because of the lighting. You guys can see we've got that latch right there to throw on the seat. We actually have some extra storage under the loading floor itself. And then you guys can see pretty decent from a storage space perspective, and well, so yeah. Now let's finish things up here in the rear. So first off, you guys can see the design here on the taillights. Very similar again to the K5, especially how it connects there in the middle. Got the new Kia logo again. And then you guys can see the lighting element just down below, and then all the accent pieces down here at the bottom of the bumper. I think it looks pretty nice. Overall, I think this is a good looking car from the outside. Here's the door panel in the rear. So notice we have this padding right here. You're going to rest your arm. You can see the material used for the door handle. We've got a speaker for the sound system. And then here are the seats in the back. So you guys can see we've got the cloth seats. And you can see there down the center with the material use. And let's pop in quickly. So you can see legroom, headroom as well, which is definitely nice. Nothing to pull down for an armrest or anything like that. And well, let's head to the front. Here's the door panel at the front. So again, we've got the soft touch material right here with the same door handles we have in the back. All of our window controls, the mirror adjustments, and there's a quick look at the mirror itself. And then here are the seats at the front. So again, full cloth seats. You can see the material use there in the center portion of the seat. And then you guys can see the adjustments there on the side of the seat. And then we have the gas cap release, and then the trunk release, and then you guys see the hood release right there. And then also got the pedal layout right here, stability control. The steering wheel is manually adjustable, and there's where I'm gonna look before we pop in. Here is the steering wheel with the Forte, pretty basic from a material standpoint. Now notice we do have our cruise control, and then we also have our lane keep assist, so some nice self-driving tech even on a car that's inexpensive. Voice command, phone controls, volume controls, all that fun stuff. We have our turn signal light stock, we have our windshield wiper stock on the other side, and yeah, that's all for the steering wheel. Here is the center gauge clutch. You guys can see you've got the RPMs on the left side. On the right side, you've got the speed. And then you do have that screen there on the side, which you can scroll through a few different menus to give you different bits of information here on the car itself. And yeah, that's pretty much all for that part. We do have some drive modes. So notice we have a normal, sport, and then smart. And notice the sport is in red because, well, it's sporty, but yeah, there you go. Now here is the center infotainment system. First off, if we pop it into reverse, you can see you've got a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel itself. Now aside from that, as for the rest of the infotainment system, response time on the screen is good. You guys can see with the response time with the buttons, for example, that's also solid. So yeah, it's a good infotainment system. It does look like it's like plopped into the dash, but you know what? I'm okay with that. And then also, again, analog controls down below. Got the vent controls here, but I love the hazard light button, how it blinks when you turn it on. Anyways, analog climate control, single zone climate. Got some USBs down here. We have this for the CVT, and then again the drive mode select, and then there's the manual shift function for the CVT. Mimics having gears. Got some cup holders here with the brake on the side, and then you guys can see the center console set up with a decent amount of storage space. Then popping over here, you can see the glove box and the nice metallic trim right there, and then circular vent. And then finishing things up top, we have a sunglass holder, lighter colored headliner, manual dimmer, and that's all. Now here is the window sticker for the Forte. You guys can see all of the standard equipment. Feel free to freeze a frame if you want to read through all of that. Then you guys can see the optional equipment on this. So total MSRP $20,880. And let's take it out and see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. There's your visibility of the hood, both of the mirrors, and then throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. Up here in the new Forte, and the thing I think is funny is I just reviewed I think it was a Sentra yesterday. Maybe it was one of Nissan's smaller cars. It's like direct competitor to this. Pretty sure it was a Sentra. I always get them mixed up because there's so many Nissans. But yeah, anyways, I think it's funny that I reviewed that just before reviewing this because they're about the same price and they feel very similar, believe it or not. But there are some key differences, and I actually will talk about that in today's video. Hopefully that helps out some of you that are cross-shopping them. And oh my goodness, every single time there's always a train here. But anyways, so far this is kind of like a little zippy, lightweight car. Pretty comfortable from a ride quality perspective, not too noisy. And yeah, you know what? I ain't gonna deal with this. Train is completely stopped, so I turned around and we're gonna continue driving so I don't just sit there for the next 20-30 minutes waiting for that thing to get out of town. Anyways, continuing along, it's a nice car so far. I'm gonna kind of slow down here because there's nobody behind me. We're gonna get an acceleration and see how the CVT responds. Yeah, pretty good from an acceleration standpoint. And yeah, the CVT is just like a normal CVT. See how it is in the manual mode? It's actually pretty responsive. Yeah, it's actually pretty responsive. So no complaints with that. So far from a driving perspective, it actually does a pretty good job. So continuing along in the Forte and kind of getting to setting things up in just a minute. This is a bumpy road and she does a pretty good job from a suspension standpoint. Yeah, it's actually pretty comfortable going over everything, so that is definitely a big positive if you ask me. And I really like the feeling of the steering wheel. It's a very nice size. Material use obviously isn't super great, but the size is great, and so I definitely think that's positive. But let's obviously get into summing things up here with the Forte now. So exterior wise, I think it's a good looking car. Interior wise, this segment's kind of interesting. So again, I just drove the Nissan yesterday, and that had some like soft touch on the dash and all kind of over here, which just kind of for looks. This has padding where you can rest your arms, so I think that's great. The one thing I will mention about this is this feels a little bit more solid, like feels a little bit better put together compared to the Nissan that I reviewed yesterday. And so I don't know, it just feels like the build quality is nicer. I like that this has the steering assistance, so it's got a little bit more on the self-driving side of things, and for $20,000 I think that's pretty excellent if you ask me. So overall I think it does a good job. And so I guess again, I'm pretty sure it was the Sentra. Sorry if I'm wrong. But just that Sentra that I reviewed yesterday, I feel like this is easily like half a point better than the Sentra, just because the build quality feels a little bit nicer and there's a little bit more from a safety. It feels like the safety tech, because I know the steering assistance on the Kias is really good. So yeah, that's the new Forte. If you're looking for an inexpensive commuter car, gets good gas mileage, check it out. That's gonna sum things up for a video on this 2022 Kia Forte. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Jerry Signer Kia here in South Salt Lake for giving me some time with the Forte. Check out the inventory link below. I'll see all of you in the next video.